Alright, here we are. Welcome, gentlemen, once again. We are Lib Worldwide from BA, ready to give you the best experience in real-time strategy once again. How are you? How's everyone? I hope alright. Alright. What do we have for today? The finale for the Fallen campaign of Armies of Exigo we have for today, as well as I will begin with the analysis for Armies of Exigo. Yes, I know I haven't played the Beast campaign yet, and I haven't been able to explore the skirmish mode for that game. However, it's been 2 weeks since we began showcasing Armies of Exigo, so I think an analysis is mandatory, that's for sure. So, we'll begin with the analysis and then we'll go for the finale of the Fallen campaign. After that, I am not sure if I'll go play the next real-time strategy game that I have prepared for you, or continue with Armies of Exigo, but doesn't matter. You don't worry, we'll cover everything. You'll have the best Warcraft 3 clones recommendations at your disposal, and so we begin. Here we have the newly created analysis camera, which I also use for Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith. We will begin. I know it's not usual for me to do the analysis at the beginning of the stream, but this time will be the exception, since I think Armies of Exigo needed an analysis and I can't spend another week without it. We'll do it and we'll continue playing. So, let's begin. Gameplay category for the final analysis. Wait, before we begin, just a quick disclaimer. This is the way in which gaming press should be analyzing video games. If they weren't a bunch of corrupt posers and filth who actually feel no passion for video games whatsoever. But unfortunately they are not. They are shill cowards who act as advertisers for game developers. They can't be the judges of video games when they are the advertisers of them. The review for The Last of Us 2 should be a perfect example of this, and a lot of other games that are incredibly funny, but the Shield Gaming Press says they are not so good, and they are probably wrong. For example, Mad Max from 2015 was a great game, and it was bashed by the gaming press. Another one that comes to mind is the game based on the Wolverine movie, which was X-Men Origins Wolverine. That game, especially the PC port of it, was developed by Raven Software, and it was extremely good, and I remember that the Shield Gaming Press bashed it. But alright, with that out of the way, let's head into the first category of the analysis, the gameplay for Armies of Exigo from 2004, developed by Electronic Arts. Alright, the gameplay is probably the strongest point that the game has. The balance between races is pretty much well done and polished. There aren't any severe differences in power between the races, as we could, for example, see in Ethereum. I don't know if you know that game. It's a game from 2015, I think, if I remember correctly, more or less 2015, in which one race, the Consortium, was extremely OP. So in this game, maybe the Fallen are a bit and balanced, but I think that for the skirmish mode and the online mode has been actually patched. Now, the online mode, of course, is discontinued. There are no servers for a game from 2004, unless you are World of Warcraft, that's for sure, but not for Armies of Exigo. So, in skirmish mode, the balance of races is patched. Not in the campaign mode, because developers, I read this, the developer tried to maintain the original feel of the campaign, which I think it's a perfect decision. So, there's balance between the races, the pathfinding of the units is properly done, there's unit variety that you have at your disposal, the names of the units maybe are a bit generic, for example, calling the main aerial unit for the fallen race Hive Guard, it's a bit generic, or Hive Stinger and Hive Spitter, that's a bit generic. But the gameplay part of it, it's extremely polished, smooth, the animations of the units are smooth, it's the combat that the army you are commanding does. It's extremely rewarding. The way the units attack each other, the way the ranged archers throw their arrows, the catapults for the siege units, everything. It's everything well polished, properly done. Good pathfinding, good artificial intelligence. The gameplay is certainly one of the best. One thing I wanted to highlight regarding that category, it's the fact that the air units behave extremely well, and they have a perfect pathfinding, something which I haven't seen in any RTS, especially from the early 2000s. For example, Warcraft 3 units, maybe they collide between each other, or Warhammer Dawn of War, all of them. This one, Armies of Exigo, has probably the best pathfinding for air units that I've seen in this bracket of years, the early 2000s to 2010, at least in real-time strategy. Okay. So the races are balanced, there's good pathfinding, there's good artificial intelligence, you have everything. The combat is rewarding, and it's extremely similar to StarCraft 2, Warcraft 3, and Age of Empires. Now, why am I trying to mean with this? That the population cap is that of Age of Empires 2 and StarCraft 2, which is 200 population cap. Warcraft 3 has only 100, in case you didn't know, so that's the first change. It's extremely similar to Warcraft 3, it's a Warcraft 3 clone, since it uses the same role-playing, light role-playing elements that Warcraft 3 uses. It has that light RPG heritage from Warcraft 3. However, the game is brave, it takes risks, and aside from the fact that it extended the population cap to 200, differently to Warcraft 3, which is 100, as I've said, it also incorporates a third resource, gems, which adds another strategic value to the gameplay. Alright. And why does it look like StarCraft 2? Well, because the pathfinding of the air units is just like StarCraft 2, which was developed in 2010, which is impressive. Also, the races have strong similarities to StarCraft 2, or StarCraft 1 for that matter. The Fallen are just like the Zerg, they are a hive mind, 100%. The humans are like Warcraft 3, it's a mixture. Some races from Warcraft 3, others from StarCraft. Alright, however, the game has a medieval fantasy setting to it. Alright. So, the gameplay category of the analysis I'll award it with an S. With an S. And a straight S. Which is incredible for a game like this. If you consider 2004, the pathfinding that was present at the moment, the gameplay category, it's an S. But regarding the technical category of the analysis, it's also an extremely astonishing piece of information, because the game can run at an unlocked frame rate, but can only reach 1080p resolution, and all of that only if you use a modified executable for the game. So they need games modding to run at 1080p unlocked frame rate. Now, what's the problem regarding this technical category of the analysis? The game has severe issues with multi-screen support, something which looks like it is especially particular to this game. I've never seen it in any other games. There must be other games which have this problem, but this one is extremely severe. Why? Because the game pointer, the cursor, it's not constrained within your main screen's limits, and only in the regarding the direction of your second monitor. For example, you could use your mouse pointer to pan to the north, to the upper corner of your screen, to the lower, and to the left side, but not the right side if, like me, you are using the monitor, you have your secondary monitor on your right side, right next to your main monitor. So it doesn't have multi-screen support. Alright, but the game runs at an low frame rate. I don't know why it uses so much RAM. It uses a lot of RAM, 12 gigs for a game from 2004. It's a lot. I think it is because of the heavy CPU utilization that these games use, because there's a lot of artificial intelligence that creates a lot of background processes for the CPU. Alright, but the other part of the technical analysis that I wanted to describe, it's the graphical effects for the game. The game has quite good graphical effects. The symbols are all handmade, the artwork is handmade, the animations are handmade and have a lot of quality to them. They are not cheap animation like Lords of EverQuest, which I showcased. The health bars and the production bars are properly created. They have a nice aesthetic to them, and so I'll award the technical category of the analysis an A. Mainly due to the fact that, as I've told you, the game can't run at 1440p or 4K resolutions, even if I don't have to expect it from a game developed in 2004. It would have been a nice touch. And also those graphical problems, among which those graphical problems, and the main reason I award the game an A in the technical category of the analysis, or maybe an A minus if I need to be 100% exact, an A minus, it's that at some point, once I finish the human campaign, the Empire campaign, the first campaign that you have all watched during the first streams, after finishing it, once I re-entered, I had to create a new profile in the game in order to access the Fallen campaign, because the game had erased mysteriously the icon in the campaign menu for the second campaign. So I assume that was patched. That was patched because the game had patches up to a 1.4 version of it. But yeah, the problem is that if you use the 1.4 patch executable, you will not be able to run it at 1080p and showcase it at the quality I have been showcasing it. So for the div 1.4 patch, it's useless because it renders useless the possibility of 1080p of running the game at 1080p resolution. Alright. So that's a weak part of the game. But as I've told you, it runs at an unlocked frame rate, so I had to balance both things because it's not usual to see a game run at an unlocked frame rate if it was developed in the early 2000s. The animations of the units themselves, I think, are unlocked. At the beginning, I thought they were. There are some which are at 30 FPS, but lately I've been watching that the animations. I've been assessing that the animations are running at an unlocked frame rate, apparently, or at least 60 FPS, which is great. Level design category of the analysis. There's objective variety in the missions of the campaign. For example, you have 2v3 baseless exploration missions. I only had one defense up to now, which is curious, but it was a good one. There is, for example, one mission in which I had to escort the main hero unit of the Empire faction, Ulrich. I bet you must remember the fact that I was stuck at that mission because the objective was to simply escape and not develop the base and attack the enemy. And I lost a lot of time, but the objective had explained that that was what I had to do, so I can't blame them. So, regarding the level design, aside from this objective variety, there is also a nice way of introducing you to the new units that are being progressively made available for you. That are being progressively made available for you. But it was a bit slow. For example, I would have wished that the 9th unit for the Empire campaign was made available to me earlier than it was, because I could only use them during the final mission. Timed missions, timed exploration missions are another ones, and a lot of the missions for the Fallen campaign especially require you to build only hive guards, which are flying units, as you could see, and that restrains the quality of the title just a tiny bit. Why? Because it's forcing me to play in a specific way, and that's not good, even for a real-time strategy game, even if they are teaching you, especially because we are not talking about the first mission in which you are forced to use only air units, because there's a river or an obstacle which prevents land units to attack, or if you use a transport unit and you drop them, it will be extremely difficult. Remember that I always play all of these games. I analyze only once I played in the hardest difficulty, on the hardest difficulty. All right. So in the level design category, I will also give it the A minus that I've been talking about. However, in the grandeur category of the analysis, I will recognize that the game has a good storyline, a good plot, maybe a bit shallow. It's a bit shallow, especially when compared to the one present in Warcraft 3. Of course, I think no plot can compare to StarCraft 2 and Warcraft 3. They are on a whole other level. Not even Age of Empires 2 can match the plot present in those titles. The gameplay is another thing. But this one does an excellent job in world building. It reminds me of Halo at this point, which has extremely good world building, but maybe the story falls short in certain moments. For example, I think Halo 1's story is excellent. That one had good story and good world building. But for example, Halo 3 doesn't have that excellently crafted story. But the world building around it, it's excellent. The arc and the Halo rings and all of that. This one is a similar situation. It has an excellent world building. The developers did their job correctly. They created a nice world, the Kingdom of Noran, based on Lords of the Rings fantasy and Dungeons and Dragons. It has Magi, the Council of Magi. It has the Fallen Underground, the beasts which are attacking. And so they did an excellent job doing crafting that world. But the plot could have been deeper. The plot feels a bit shallow because they present you the conflict and that's it. In contrary, in Warcraft 3, you can feel Arthas's motivations, you can analyze them, and they are cohesively developed. Speaking of cohesively developed things, the plot, even though it may be shallow, it has been cohesively developed. The campaigns have a common link. The characters, you use the same characters. No, you don't use. There are present. The same characters are present on the first campaign, the Empire campaign, and they are the same for the Fallen campaign, for the second campaign. So they share characters between them. Lord Keran, it's disguised as a human, who is disguised as a human during the first campaign, then emerges as the main protagonists for the second campaign, in which we know he was actually a fallen and not a human, and he was disguised. Alright. The characters have personality and they act accordingly to the roles that the story had prepared for them. Ulrich acts as a hero, as a leader, and it's an extremely interesting character. Although, as I've said, also the Inquisitor character, I think it was the best alongside Ulrich. But, as I've said, they are all a bit shallow. Even if the cinematics are long, they are longer than your standard real-time strategy game cinematic. They lack those shocking characters. They have the campaign has shocking moments. For example, the legendary 30-minute defense for the final episode for the first chapter of the campaign, which was extremely nice. The 30-minute defense, which was heroic and all of that. It was probably the best mission for that campaign. But the characters are not as shocking as the events of the campaign, which is a common rule in real-time strategy games storyline, but it could have been better. It could have been the game could have showcased the inner motivations of the characters, a bit of history, especially the Ruanon history, which was the previous hero that saved the kingdom from destruction. that acted like a kind of that Ulrich was the predecessor from Rhiannon. He was like the modern incarnation of Rhiannon. And so they could have given a bit of background regarding Rhiannon and the Old Kingdom story, which is present during the intro cinematic for the game, so they actually had thought it. But it's a shame that they didn't include a bit more of those flashbacks. But the story is better than The Lord of the Rings, War of the Ring, as well as Lords of EverQuest, that's for sure. So I'll award it with also another A minus. But the main problem of the game, naturally, is a Warcraft 3 clone. I'm not discovering anything new. The game borrows a lot of things from other RTS games, which is a nice thing in part, but the only aspect in which it improves upon the genre's foundations, those mechanics established by Warcraft 3, StarCraft 2, and Age of Empires 2, it's the innovative and premier, the novel underground map mechanic, in which every or most of the missions for the campaign, as well as the skirmish maps, have an underground level in which you can develop more bases and prepare minor teams to attack your enemy from underneath the ground. They are extremely strategic and you have to take advantage of them. And so they add a lot of strategic value to the game. Alright. But besides that, and the fact that I think this is the only Warcraft 3 game that has a 200 population cap, Warcraft 3 clone that has a 200 population cap, a third resource, we saw it during the gameplay for the Lord of the Rings, War of the Ring, but the game essentially borrows a lot of ideas of previously seen ideas from these three games, Warcraft 3, StarCraft 2, and Age of Empires 2. The fact that the Fallen race is just a Zerg clone, even though they did some modifications to it, but it's essentially a Zerg clone. Even the units are bugs, so they are like Zerg clones. And so, the innovation category of the analysis, I will award it a B. A B. But I will highlight that the underground levels to add strategic value to the gameplay are an extremely good idea, and that's why I'm not further damaging the qualification for the game, because even though it copies a lot of things from StarCraft and Warcraft, they took the time to create a mechanic that I've never seen in any other RTS, even if the gameplay is just like Warcraft 3. Overall, I'll award the game the general qualification. I had it already prepared. It's an A. An A qualification. From F to S, I'll award it with an A qualification. Remember that I awarded The Lord of the Rings, War of the Ring with a B and Lords of EverQuest with a C. Of course, the S would be Warcraft 3, StarCraft 2, Age of Empires 2. just so you have a reference to the qualification system, because qualifications are useless. They have no um, they have no use by themselves. They need something to be compared to. And so, if Warcraft 3 it's an S, I will award Armies of Exigo with an A. So, gentlemen, there you have it. This is the way that we should be analyzing games. See how much time it took me. 2 weeks to play through the game, analyze it quietly, and slowly assess the worth of the game. It's an extremely complex process, which I think shield gaming press and corrupt and posers take extremely lightly. They take the process of qualification extremely lightly. The same goes for Metacritic and the rest of the websites that waste their whole day doing shallow or writing shallow reviews for the games. This is a fair qualification. This is a fair way of qualifying the game. You could see that I could objectively tell you why I'm giving it an A. Why the gameplay was properly developed, why the grandeur was a bit shallow, why the plot was a bit shallow, the characters especially, why the innovation wasn't perfect because it borrowed a lot of ideas from previous games, and so the genre is not being it's not richer than before after the release of this game, why it wasn't so groundbreaking, even if I highlighted the fact that the underground mechanic to add strategic value to the gameplay was correctly developed. See that games can be objectively analyzed. And so, that way, and with all of that said, we will proceed to the finale for the Fallen campaign. But know this, know and watch that that games can be objectively analyzed, and it's the proper way of doing so. I could objectively tell you why I am awarding the game an A and not a B and not an S. I could objectively tell you it's not opinion, something which in Greek it's called the doxa. And so, it's not opinion, it's fact. I could objectively tell you that the game had a lot of quality. Alright. With all of that said, we will resume the usual programming, which is the finale for Lords of Erebor, for Armies of Exigo, the finale for the Fallen campaign. Remember that then we have um, the Beast campaign. Alright. Let's see here. But see that I am able to objectively tell you why the game is properly designed. But of course, this requires time, investing a lot of time in doing so. But it's the price you have to pay to get rid of gaming ignorance. As you could see, as I've always mentioned, the illiterate gamers, that filth which dedicate themselves all day to poison people's minds, the most followed internet personalities, they should all be ashamed of what they do, playing Fortnite all day, playing Rust all day, because if you only play online garbage all day, you are not being educated in gaming. You have no taste. Imagine for a second that someone who dedicated his whole life to taste the quality of different wines and drinks says that Mountain Dew it's a 10 out of 10, a perfect beverage. Imagine that situation. He would be labeled as an ignorant. He would be labeled as a swine, and correctly so. He is a swine if he says that, because he has no culture in this hypothetical scenario. He has no culture at all. And if people feel offended because they are being called tasteless by me, well, they have a problem, because what they should be doing is working on not being uneducated gamers instead of, but it's, yeah, that's the problem. It's easier to get offended and get angry and tell the person who is trying to educate you that he is a dictator or something like that. That's called populism and moral relativism. Plain and simple moral relativism. There are uneducated gamers and there are educated gamers. Unfortunately, we, the educated gamers, should be worried about this situation, because if we don't do something, the newer generations will be ignorant as well, because the most followed internet personalities are unfortunately ignorant. If I asked them the difference between a twin stick shooter and an isometric action RPG game, they wouldn't be able to tell me the difference. If I asked them what's the difference between real-time strategy and real-time tactics, as I mentioned yesterday, by the way, in that during while I was reading that interesting article from PC Gamer, they wouldn't be able to tell the difference. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. They know two or three genres: FPS, first-person shooter, roguelites, which are now a trend, um, and general action adventure games, such as God of War and all of those. But they know them because those games receive a lot of advertisement, a lot of marketing from big AAA developers. But they were, yeah, and the indie games, well, I think that this has gone out of hand. That we are uh, telling people that indie games should be just judged just like AAA games, which is a shame, even though there are some interesting forgotten gems for those. And so, let's resume. Where were we? Mission 6? No, right here. Mission number 11, the Field of Zeros. So let's continue with the Fallen campaign. I am pretty sure that we will reach the finale. I think it's the next mission, number 12. So, 4 cycles later, 4 days later, remember, Domina and Keran traverse the dangerous wastelands as they approach the third seal. Remember, a quick story recap. The third seal is the final obstacle for Keran to bring his master from the great beyond and consume the earth and assimilate it and create and expand his fallen empire. Let's see what the ageless ones do for him. All right, as we all remember, hang on a second. I don't remember the cinematic. I think we did it on Friday, right? Let's do it quick.
This is a strange land, Karen. Something tremendous happened here. It bears the stench of human magic.
It is the field of sorrows. It is where Rhiannon and my ancestors did battle long ago. Their power which devastated the land lingers here. Magic does not function as it should upon these plains. It disrupts our gates. Only when we are near the third seal will they function.
In the end, I think it is better if our soldiers remain together.
We must hurry. Time is the only enemy now, Princess.
Might I add, Lord Karen, your transformation is not at all displeasing.
Alright, we need to guide them to the bully. Of course, they must survive. The hero units must survive. Alright, what do we have
There is
here?
much to prepare.
We have
I feel your thoughts.
6 Void Walkers,
You have new knowledge.
4 Hive Speeders,
Power above all.
and the 2 hero units.
Move aside. I head towards victory.
Apparently this looks like a baseless exploration mission,
Move aside.
since I have no workers at my disposal.
I head towards victory. My opponents will be crushed.
Alright, what are they? Scrappers, alright, neutral hostiles.
Feel the misery.
Let's go for Necromancy, for
Move aside.
Domina, and
Spread the darkness. Resistance is pointless.
There is much to prepare.
let's J-shift at least one of them
Power above all.
into those things. I don't know how much damage they do, 20. Yeah, that's
Feel
good.
Misery. Move aside. Spread the darkness. Move aside. I head towards victory.
You have new knowledge.
Resistance is pointless.
I feel your thoughts.
Yeah, these are pretty useless right now.
Power above all. My opponents will be crushed.
I'm eager to see what the finale for this campaign is, that's for sure. The human campaign finale, remember it was a 2v3, a grand scale
Spread the
battle,
darkness.
if I remember
I head
correctly, that we
towards
played
victory.
last week. But
My opponents will be crushed.
apparently this
I
is
head
too
towards
quiet
victory.
for a finale. I think a big battle
Power
awaits
above
us.
all. Spread the darkness. Leave none alone. I head towards victory. My opponents will be crushed. Spread the darkness. My opponents will
Alright,
be
nothing
crushed.
over there. Let's see what we picked up. Medicine plant, restore hit points of the target. Alright,
Move
single
aside.
target heal.
Leave none alive. Die. I head towards victory. Spread the darkness.
Yeah, it's again using
I head towards
10 gigs of
victory.
RAM. That's a lot for a game developed in
Move aside.
2004.
Will be crushed.
What do we have here?
Spread the darkness. Move
Poe.
aside.
Potions mostly. What am Oh, what do we
My
have
opponents
here?
will be crushed.
Nothing. Alright, so
Move aside.
over here.
You have new knowledge.
I've never tried out if the Void Walkers can shapeshift into my own units. Let's see. Oh yeah, they can.
There is much to prepare.
But they also retain
Power above
the damage. They remember the damage that original
all. My
unit had.
opponents will be crushed. Move aside. My opponents will be crushed. Move aside.
Everything's quiet up to now.
I head towards victory. My opponents will be crushed. Spread the darkness. My opponents will be crushed. Die. All will feel misery.
Feel your thoughts. You have new knowledge.
Resistance is pointless. Move aside. My opponents will be crushed.
If I had to guess, I would say that any second now we will have to
Move aside.
develop the base.
I head towards victory. The daylight scours the flesh and eyes. Let us retreat to the underrealm where we belong. Spread the darkness.
Alright,
Move aside.
here we go.
The light is our enemy. My opponents will be crushed. I head towards victory. My opponents will be crushed.
What do we have here? Only 100 HP, and they are called
Power
imps.
above all. My opponents will be crushed. I head towards victory. Spread the darkness.
Alright, let's see. Can I heal that guy? Heal this one. Heal this one. And heal this one.
The light is our enemy.
Yeah.
There is much to prepare. I feel your thoughts.
One thing's for sure, I hate
Power
using
above all. I head towards
the Void
victory.
Walkers
Spread the darkness.
because you have to
Move
shape shift
aside. Spread the
every time you
darkness.
want them to be useful. So they literally just
Spread the darkness.
mimic, they copy the enemy's forces. You can't use stronger
opponents
units
will be
if you only
crushed.
have this Void
All
Walker.
will
So
feel misery. Resistance is
Right.
pointless. Move aside.
let's see what.
All
Alright,
will
Domina
feel
raised
misery.
2 more of those. We also have Lord Karen's
The light is our enemy. I head towards
invulnerability
victory.
and
None shall oppose me.
freeze,
Out
so
of my way.
it shouldn't be too difficult. Alright, let's go for the first freeze. Come on. Shapeshift. Invalid target. Oh.
The insect queen is injured.
How about this one?
Someone attacked her.
She's weakened greatly. I can bring her under my power with little effort now in her present condition. None shall oppose me.
All will feel misery.
Nice. It's
My
giving me a
opponents
lot
will
of
be
units.
crushed. Move aside.
Let's take that Bone Archer out of the
Resistance is
formation.
pointless. My
and
opponents
add-
will be crushed.
And we'll use him as an
The
scout.
light is our enemy.
Oh yeah.
Move aside.
Alright,
Spread
some
the darkness. Move aside.
Mm.
Spread the darkness.
some gold,
I shall not be beaten.
which leads me to believe that sooner
Out of
than
my way.
we
Resistance
expect,
is pointless. Move aside.
we'll have to create a base.
I head towards victory. Spread the darkness.
Alright, small healing potions. Let's use them.
Power above all.
Alright, more of
All
those
will
guys.
feel
Perfect.
None shall oppose me.
Damn, that's a bad moment to turn to go back to
The
your
light is
original
our
form.
enemy. Move aside. Spread the darkness. Move aside. I head towards victory. I head towards victory. Spread the darkness. I head
Oh, what's
towards
this?
victory.
A
Dark
cocoon.
dwarves. They are demon worshippers.
None shall oppose me.
Alright, that dark dwarves.
Will be mine. Make way.
What's that?
I shall not be beaten.
All will feel
I don't know
misery.
what that was, but it was killed.
My
That's for
opponents
sure.
will be crushed.
None shall oppose me.
There we go. Please don't turn back into your puny form. Alright, dark dwarves. I wonder how they look like.
Power above all.
Alright, what now?
This world will be mine.
Dimension gate.
This world.
Resistance is pointless. Spread the darkness.
Maybe I'm not
Is our
supposed to
enemy.
destroy it.
My opponents will be crushed.
You
Move aside.
two will go over here and keep exploring.
Power above all.
That cocoon.
Resistance is pointless.
Alright.
I head towards
Up to now, a
victory.
pretty underwhelming
Spread
mission.
the darkness.
But I think it's only the
Move aside.
prelude to the
My
finale.
opponents will be crushed.
That's for sure. It definitely looks like it.
Will be mine.
Okay.
I must make haste.
Power above all.
Mm-hmm.
Move aside. Die.
Make way.
That was easy.
Oppose me.
Let's see what we find here. Remember that
None
the
shall oppose me. The deformers were the creations of my ancestors who remained here after the battle with Roanna.
Our units recover very quickly on this magic-scarred Earth. Let us investigate further. There may be other useful artifacts here.
Out of my way.
Alright.
Out of my way.
These look like the health fountains in The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. Alright.
Resistance is pointless.
Only
This is
some.
the Valley of the Fire Pits. It is the border of the lands of the Dark Dwarves. There are dwarf forge masters here, demonic creatures who can breathe life into metal. We must take care where they are concerned.
Princess, there is nothing to fear from such base creatures, not so long as I am near. You
Oh.
have the knowledge.
Power above all.
Looks like
My
Lord
opponents
Karan
will be crushed.
is trying to date Damana.
Resistance is pointless. Move aside. My opponents will be crushed.
I am Grunok, forger of demon blades, main to all. You have no business in my lands. Withdraw or face my wrath.
Bow before us, dwarf, and live, lest this place be your tomb.
I bow to none. My demons of fire will feast on your flesh and drink of your blood, elf.
I was a bit sloppy. Could have saved more units, but
Move aside.
I hope that That's not a heavy price
My
layer.
opponents will be crushed. Move aside. I head towards victory. My opponents will be crushed. I head towards victory. I feel misery. My
I
opponents will be
kinda
crushed.
wish the game had
Move aside. My opponents will be crushed.
personalized shortcuts for
Move
the hero
aside.
units, just like Warcraft 3
I head
had
towards victory.
F1 and
Spread the
F2
darkness.
for Moradin and
Move
Arthas,
aside.
but
The weak shall perish.
alright.
Resistance is pointless. My opponents will be crushed. I head towards victory.
By now,
Move aside.
I think
My
we
opponents
should
will be
expect
crushed.
There is much to prepare.
a lot of resistance
All
up
will
ahead.
feel misery.
I feel your
Alright,
thoughts.
turn back.
As you wish. There is much to
They all
prepare.
turn
The light is our enemy.
into Void Walkers at the same time. Well, what's this? Cast protective spell. Oh. Yeah, definitely
Resistance is pointless.
a big battle up ahead.
Spread the
This
darkness.
feels just like a MOBA.
The
Resistance is
dwarves bow
pointless.
to the power of the Avatar of Darkness. We are
Oh.
yours to command.
I head towards victory. Spread the
That
darkness.
was quick. He said he would never bow.
Move aside. Power above all.
Did we get a
Spread
dwarf?
the darkness.
Oh. Hellsmith, Hellblade, Hellcaster. We need melee.
We do not have enough gold.
Alright.
All will feel misery.
Are these
The
summons?
light
No.
is our enemy.
Alright, what do we do now?
Spread the darkness.
You will be control group 2. And we'll do 2 control groups. Alright. What do we have here? However, the Barangies are summons.
My opponents will be crushed. Move aside.
Oh. Let's go back to the surface then. Nice. We're back here. Wolves. Yeah. We begin with the baseless exploration mission. A pretty bland way to do a finale, but... Oh, what's that? More orc marauder. Orcs. This game had no orcs.
They are a much diminished race, Lord Karen. They once walked the world as giants, but fell to ruin at the hands of the humans. They would make this devastated land their home, away from the swords and magic of men.
Should they cross my path, I will massacre the lot. I feel your thoughts. You have new knowledge.
Come on, turn. But it must not be
Resistance is
a
pointless.
real hype spreader. Everything is way too quiet. What? 1600 health? Oh, that was quick. Medicine plant.
All will feel misery.
Supper group 1. So let's see what we can find. I assume I should be heading to the south. I never expected to see orcs in this game. But yeah. They are always present. Yeah, that's the idea. Where's Karan? Let's go for freeze. Alright. Yeah, this is pretty much your classic baseless exploration mission. Just like Warcraft 3's mission in which you played as Thrall and you went to the Oracle, I remember. At the beginning of the Orc campaign. Not at the beginning, more or less in the middle of the Orc campaign.
Resistance is pointless.
Okay. Let's include that guy. And now... Man, I'm not used to such a quiet gameplay. No base building. No,
Return
nothing.
to your dark underworld, or I will drink from your empty skulls.
I warn you, Orc, I am not the one with whom to trifle.
Power above all.
There we go. Alright, I expected that. A defensive structure. Go. I need to take advantage of the protective shield while it lasts. Damn, those are orcs. Yeah, a curious piece of information is that this game has different kinds of workers. I don't know if that's just for each race. I don't know if that's just a way of presenting the campaign to add more diversity, but yeah. Let's give the potion to that guy just in case. We have to keep pushing, especially since Of course, I will not heal the summoned units. And let's see if this is it.
I shall not be beaten.
Resistance is pointless.
All shall kneel before.
Dangerous journey. Get up to the bully. You must survive. There we go. Yeah, a pretty underwhelming mission.
We faced the field of sorrows and the distorted lands and survived. I can already feel the presence of the third seal. We are very near. I will open the gate and bring the Hive army to us.
The humans are lost, Karen. Their fates are written. The die is cast.
Yeah, a pretty short and underwhelming mission for the prelude to a finale. But let's see now. I think things are about to get interesting. Mission number 12, Chamber of Screams. 2 days later, Damiana must open the third seal. Let's see. Oh,
The humans of Antares and the tribes of the plains are fighting a hard battle upon these lands. I can almost pity their fates. They fight with honor.
In the heart of that chaos, Princess, is the third seal. Unlike the pup, it carries humans who will not benefit. The Chamber of Screams is new. It was here that my ancestors ruled Ruana. There he defeated the two fathers of darkness and bound them into the third seal, as though the magic is no small thing. I need time to unleash the spell.
You forget, Karen. I am myself of elven blood. Although our races have diverged, our magic has common ancestry. My sisters and I can open the third seal and the Chamber of Screams.
The Dark Dreamer will reward your services, Princess.
Of that, my Lord Karen, I have no doubt.
oh, this is a big base to start with. The guide Domina and two matriarchs to the lock. Defend Domina and the matriarchs while opening the lock. The Avatar of Darkness must survive. Domina must survive. Nice. You go here. You as well will go here. New unit, Beholder. Nice. I'll surely explore that unit in a moment, but first let's organize the production. 4 workers harvesting. New upgrade adaptation. Well, yeah, now. Yeah, right. Now we have access to all of the best weaponry. Faster reflexes. Let's begin. It's pretty much for every unit. Hive speeder, seekers, hive guards. Yeah, everything. Oh. This one is for hive speeders only, though. Create some hive speeders just for the initial defense of the base. Let's see here. What do we have? We have an incubator, but do we have bile cocoon? No, we don't have a bile cocoon, so let's go for it. We have a lot of population. The soul trap is ready. Population capping buildings ready. Let's go for a second. We will in a second. Second hive.
I await your summons. What do you want from me?
We'll establish.
Power above all. I head towards victory.
This world will be mine.
All will feel misery.
2 control groups. No, not you.
I shall not be beaten.
And both of them will be right here.
The research is complete.
Alright. We could send... We'll send the Zerglings, the Hive Stingers, that's what I meant when I say the units had generic names. We'll send the Hive Stingers over there. Alright, we have an enemy base over there. They cost 50 gold, so... Alright, we have a second base over there. We have the humans, the beasts, and the objective, the third city. What do we have to the west and to the southwest and the southeast then? Aerial Stalker and Beholder. Well, I want to try out the Beholder, so let's go for this. Dimensional Gate. Alright, there's another base of enemies over there. Probably more beasts. Let's send that other guy over there. That carapace is ready. More hives better. Alright, so any attack will come either from here or from here. Right. To the right we have the humans. To the left we have the beasts. I wonder if they kill each other as well. Come on. Go to the seal. Oh no, wait. What do we have here? Alright, I can access that zone. Here we have the humans. So there we go. Both at the same time. Nice. How much gold do we have? Well, yeah, that's a lot. 3,000, 3,000, 3,000, 3,000. It probably was 3,500 at the beginning. Beholder. 6 units. 6 population it consumes, the Beholder. Ethereal Shroud. No. Ethereal Shroud. No. Ethereal. What? Ah. Okay, it's the ability for the next. No. Not the former not. We need the control form for you. Go to rest. Astral Node. Research. Building. Research. Upgrades for Dimension Gate units. Alright. Oculus. I never constructed that. Oculus. Research building, research upgrades for Beholder. I hope that Beholder is up to its reputation. Alright.
This world will be mine.
Feel misery.
Alright. Let's continue exploring. Alright. Minax Legion. So we have 2. I assume we have 2 human bases over here and 2 beast bases over here. Nice. We'll need a little firepower to get through those. Upgrades the attack range for the Hive Guards. Yes. We'll need a heavier unit than the Hive Guard. Let's go for that Oculus. I don't want to waste resources then. I'll need them for these beholders. Oh, what's that guy doing? Is he trapped or what? Come on. He was bugged. Oh, no, that doesn't matter. Let's see what we have here. If the beholder turns out to be a shitty unit, I'll simply amass hive spatters.
We shall prevail.
Yeah. And maybe some... What was the other one? The Avenger. All of those units.
Ageless one, you call.
Alright, we have 2 more houses.
Is complete.
Under construction.
Prepare the way. You desire. Ageless one.
Actually, it's quite OP now that I think of it, that each house building costs only 75 gold,
The upgrade is complete.
75 gold, and hive guards, stalkers, and beholders. Hivers, yeah, pretty much it has the upgrades for the beholders.
Ageless one. You call.
And that
Ageless one.
they only take... It only takes 18 seconds to create houses, because the summoners are houses. Let's see. Where's that beholder? Advanced flying combat unit can attack land and air units. Alright, it's like the Protoss carrier. So this new beholder acts like a Protoss carrier pretty much. Let's see how this unit turns out. It could be simply a shitty unit, but I think if it's a flying unit and in that it can attack land and air units, I think it will be good. Especially since the game reserved this unit for the finale only.
I shall not be beaten.
I'm eager to see that beholder. How much time does it take? 80 seconds. That's a lot. And 6 population cap. 6 population it consumes. That's a lot. Let's go for more hive spatters just in case. And let's measure the enemy's forces before we go ahead and try to explore this new unit. At least the capabilities of this new unit.
Our greatest weapon has arrived. No one can stand against it.
Nice role playing for the beholder. Let's try it. Only 10 damage. Interesting. Let's see. The first base seems pretty weak. Damn, it looks good at least.
What creatures are these? They cast death and destruction without bow or sword. Your destiny is upon you. The time of the surface dwellers is at an end.
Need to be careful. They have a stealth. Is this a detector? No, it's not. Alright, interesting. They have a lot of stealth units. Let's go for the aerial then. 625 health. It's a lot though. Damn. At least I could freeze them. Alright. The upgrades, right. Increase movement speed. And we have here upgrade damage, armor, invisibility for aerials. Alright, so the detectors can become invisible. And alright, there we go. Stealth detection. So we'll go for more hive spitters. Since this guy, at least I still don't know how to use it properly for now. Increase movement speed. Damn, that looks ugly. Let's go again. Also, we'll go with Hunter Reflexes for the Hive Spitters.
Power above all.
And let's regroup our units. Third group. Right. Let's try now that we don't have to deal with those pesky stealth units.
I loathe this world.
Alright. Uh-huh. Let's push. Oh. Let's see what we have here. More defensive structures, nothing to worry about. Let's see. 5 armor, fear, spike, fire, cold, poison. Well, we managed to get rid of the first beast base quite fast. So here we have a new group of units. Let's see. Maybe I can harass them with the beholders. Let's go for another one. Yeah, the thing is that these guys have a lot of health. I mean, 656 health each unit. It's a lot, but they lack the damage I require to pierce the enemy's defenses.
We do not have enough gold.
Anti-magic.
Research is complete.
Yeah.
Power above all.
Oh, Domina is about to
My
die.
opponents will be crushed.
So all right. We'll span to the second resource location. Go back. You'll be controlled with 1 now, and you'll be controlled with 2.
I loathe this world.
All right.
I prepare the way, just one.
So for Dark Fortress right here, we left some undead troops to deal with the enemy. Aha. I will never understand why the game, more often than not, ends up not playing any music.
We do not have enough gold.
Yeah, it has only 11 damage, but
Research is complete.
it deals a lot of damage to the buildings. Maybe it's 11 for each of those dots. Alright. Let's see what other improvements we can do to those guys. Upgrade the damage of Hive Guards and Beholders.
Attack us.
And armor. So, aha. Alright.
Your desire.
Let's expand. One
We do
deformer.
not have enough gold.
Alright. Nice. Yeah, if we take into account that these guys have almost 700 hit points, 656 up to now. Yeah, they are powerful.
The building is complete.
But they can be taken down. Alright. Yeah. We pretty much easily snagged the enemy of one base. Let's see. Let's go. And we also have a respectable ground force. Let's see, what else can we destroy? Go for more harvesters.
The building is complete. Your desire.
Alright.
The upgrade is complete.
Now, come back. I need more of these guys.
We do not have enough gold.
Let's see here. Let's go ahead and try to get rid of the human base, the first human base. Yeah, up to now, this isn't a very shocking mission, but it's always nice to see real-time strategy. A good real-time strategy campaign. Go. Knight of Antaras. This is a custom unit. I don't remember knights having 2,000 points. 2,000 hit points. Sorry. 2,000 hit points. That's all. Alright, where are these? Alright, third level of upgrades for the Beholders. Devastating Strike and Impermeable Field. I hope it is actually impermeable. Damn, I don't know why the artificial intelligence is not reacting at all. But this seems to be pretty easy. Maybe the mission is bugged until I can send Domina to defend the third seal? Maybe that's the problem?
Move aside.
Well,
Power
let's try.
above all.
What did I have to do? The Domina and 2 matriarchs must be brought to the beacon. 2 matriarchs. So 2 matriarchs. A Sorrow Shrine.
The research is complete.
Sorrow Shrine. There we go. Spike Carapace. I also would need Venom. Maybe I'm talking and then we get attacked by a lot of troops. Where are those beholders? Yeah, I'm pretty sure then after this quiet section a lot of troops will come out of nowhere and assault my base. I know that will happen at once. Alright. Let's see. Let's send the beholders. What are you doing? Explore the place. Alright, we got these cute beholders. This is pretty easy up to now. It's been pretty easy. More beholders, and then more. These consume a lot.
Feel
Matriarchs. Oh, we don't have enough gems. Let's balance production. Alright, now that's more like it. A lot of resistance over here. Where's Lord Charon? They are like in a rare hold position. Alright, the beholders are good. Not because they have a lot of attack, but because they have a lot of hit points. I lost only one. They're pretty much like a Protoss carrier at this point. And they deal damage. For sure. Plus they are air units, so they have a certain protection to them. Alright, what do we have here? Yeah, I'm sure a big army will come out of here. Alright, pretty easy. Pretty easy. Let's go back. Over here and over here. What do we have here? The Venom for the Hive Spreader. And what other thing do we have? The Vial. No, we don't need it. Move speed of aerials. No. Alright, so let's go for... Alright, I needed the gems for the matriarchs. I need to bring 2 matriarchs, right? 2. In the meantime, I'll send the beholders back to the beast's base. So yeah, they pretty much ignored us because they were fighting between each other more, apparently. Oh, nice. Damn, that's a 2-hit. Yeah, 1-hit kill over there. 2-hit kill. Well, almost a 2-hit kill. 1-hit kill, and there are only 6. Yeah, I don't know how. I think this must be bugged. 15 damage. These guys are doing a lot of damage. Yep. Well,
resistance is pointless.
apparently we are ready to go.
our enemy.
This is like the final
Power
mission for
above
Heart of the
all.
Swarm.
Move aside.
Man, I remember that
Spread the darkness.
Heart of the Wings of Liberty was difficult, but Heart of the Swarm was so easy, even on brutal difficulty. The Zerg were way too OP at that time, especially. Let's see, and this is like the final mission for Heart of the Swarm. At least that's my first impression. So nice.
Charon and his fallen are not so invincible. This magical lock created by the power of the elves can only be breached by us. Quickly, my sisters, let us undo this thing set in place by Ruanan himself.
Oh, betrayal.
None shall resist us. The light is our enemy. What would you have of me?
4 minutes. Oh, I smell betrayal. I smell betrayal. So at this point, let's just send the beholders over there, as well as the hide spatters. I smell betrayal here. Let's destroy that bridge, just in case. Well, they can't, apparently. You can only attack the bridge with ground units. I am beginning to think that the artificial intelligence it's a bit bugged, because all of the units were standing still. See, as if they were ready to be used by the AI, but... Or maybe this was the impression that this is how the campaign was actually meant to be, because they were fighting between each other and, well, tells the story of the Fallen ambushing them and taking care of the third seal. I think it's that. I don't think it's bagged. Let's see here.
I loathe this world.
Or that, or we are about to be attacked pretty hard soon. I love how they all stack one upon the other. Gemini. Alright. But remember that the final mission for the Empire campaign was also... yeah, well, I had to get through a lot of bases, but... it wasn't the worst mission for the campaign, the most difficult mission ever. Well, apparently it's just that. Nice. Maybe there's a There's a 13th mission. Let's see here.
Gems will be needed soon.
Guess we'll find out soon enough. What? Oh, right. Come over here. I don't know why I feel I'm about to be attacked any second now. Oh. What happened now?
The third seal has been broken. I must reach the Chamber of Screams. The two fathers await their awakening.
So?
The Avatar of Darkness has opened the third seal. The prophecy is upon us. We must stop the Avatar at all costs.
Guide the Avatar of Darkness into the portal. Can I select my units? Let's see here. Well.
Power above all. All will feel misery.
Let's see now. Let's head to the portal then. Hello? Somebody home?
I'm listening. None shall resist us. Resistance is pointless.
Alright, let's see now. Come on.
You will not pass, Avatar of Darkness.
Invulnerable. What?
This world will be mine.
Come on.
I must lead.
Make way.
I have come to spark the fire that will consume this world. I feel the beating of the heart of the void. I feel it stirring. Karen, your victory is our victory. We are one. The two fathers, all of the fallen, are of one mind. Release our flesh from the prison Ruanan has made for us. Set us free that we may conclude this matter and consume this world as all before it. The hour is now. It is here. After 500 years, the heart of the void is within our grasp. There is nothing that can hinder us. Nothing. The path to the stone is clear. The stars are in conjunction. Come, my brothers. Breathe life anew. Walk forth like the giants you are, and let the darkness fall in your wake.
Oh. Oh boy. Continue. Well, apparently that's all. Ooh, that was pretty strange. See, I don't have any campaign icons. All right, all right, all right, all right. All right. So I wonder something though. Let me check it. No, no, not campaign. Let's load the same chapter.
Power above all.
Let's load the same chapter. Save also on this in this slot. And restart. Because I wonder why I didn't get attacked. Yeah, well known. Because this, as you know, it's part of the technical category of the analysis.
Power above
Let me
all.
see something.
All will
Because
feel misery.
I didn't get
Move
attacked.
aside.
I didn't get...
My opponents will be crushed. Move aside. I
I need
head
to
towards
check
victory. Move aside.
something.
Spread the darkness.
Yeah, of course, the
Side.
human basis. Well, fake adaptation, but... Yeah, apparently in this mission the enemy doesn't collect resources at all. I will further check that. I will further check that because it's pretty strange. It's pretty strange. But well, anyway, whatever that may be, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the ending for the Fallen campaign. Tomorrow we will either play a new game or after I've researched about this thing, do the finale on some other day, or if this was the correct, I will inform you. The correct finale, I will inform you. But I find it pretty strange that the enemy didn't create any units or anything like that. Well, don't worry. I will simply research online for this, and if it's true, I will deem it, as I did with the Lord of the Rings War of the Ring, as a game-breaking bug, and will punish the game accordingly due to its evident lack of proper artificial intelligence programming. And I will also have the Beast campaign ready for all of you to play the Beast campaign. So, alright, I also need to do some other things. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for this brief but interesting finale. At least we know the story that Lord Karen could unlock the seal and set in motion these two powerful beings. We will find out the destiny of Noran on the next stream. Also now you have this analysis ready for you to enjoy. So thanks for watching, and we'll see tomorrow. We'll see each other tomorrow. Yeah, Glory Erazowr